Lincoln Continental's pulling up and the window coming down saying, "Hi, you're Bobby Astor, aren't you?" To some Skid Row bum with a bottle in his hand saying, "I know you from the movies.
Yeah, have a drink with me, it's last drop.
Or cab drivers stopping, waiters, waitresses, businessmen.
Bob, how many films have you done?
Married people. I haven't the vaguest idea.
You've done a bunch, in other words.
I've been in the business almost a decade, so it's really tough. And when I got into the business, the movies were made a lot more cheaply, a lot more quickly, and they grind them out pretty quick. Well,
that gets back to the last question. Who writes these?
Some writers, some legitimate TV or script writers write them.
Please let me interject. You see, when you say these, you have to discriminate between some X-rated movies and other X-rated movies.
They're
some
quality,
Right.
good and bad.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we only do, at least I only do, the big budget films. I do films, and Bobby does too, where you have to be cast, you have to sit down and read for the part, you have to study, you have 2 weeks of rehearsal. Those ones are written by
You go on a
legitimate...
casting call, just like...
Oh yeah, but you don't go on a casting couch. And I found that you go on a casting couch quicker in the legitimate film world. They know that your credentials, that you can perform sexually. They want to know, can you speak with a such and such accent? Can you cry? Do you have the potential to cry if need be for certain feelings?
Can you cry?
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh, when I have to, yeah. When I'm on a set and I have been a victim. I have been a victim 2 or 3 times. I have been a woman that has been hurt and manipulated and abused, and I have in life gone through those certain things too, as well as happiness. And so I have to, the way I act is I sort of relive or think, what would it be like if it happened? And
Could you do a scene, the two of you, to talk about acting? You're saying that acting is important. Could you be the sadistic son of a gun that is beating up a woman, and you be the evil, prepossessing fellow, and you the helpless victim and crying because you're being hurt? You could do that acting scene.
Oh, absolutely.
We've done it.
Do you take acting lessons?
I have taken a long while back. I had taken a small course in acting, but I found, since I got into the business as a lark, I found the feedback I got from a lot of the professional people who were moonlighting as X-rated directors and or cameramen, that acting lessons in my case might spoil what they called they call me a natural, and they think that any real technical training would kill my natural, which I'm not really fully in tune with as to technique. But no, and just a simple answer to your question, no.
Are you going to continue doing what you do?
Probably for quite a while.
I would like to. For screen stars, there's a barrier for the ladies. There isn't one for the men. Age.
That's true. As in life, women seem to get older or look like they're older faster than men. I'm trying to preserve myself. As you had asked me before, do I take drugs? Absolutely not. I have a terrible aversion to even taking antibiotics unless absolutely necessary. And with all this travel and getting worn out, sometimes I have to take such things. And I take vitamins, but I don't take drugs, and I do exercise, so I'm healthy.
So you're going to continue doing what you do. You're happy with it?
Yes.
When you look at your life, say 10 years down the road, do you see yourself as a director, a producer, the money behind the scene, rather than the star of the movie?
A good possibility.
See, what I'm asking you is, are you getting into the industry on the ground floor? It is a ground floor industry. It's expanding every year. More and more theaters are going. We just had a big war here about the RKO Orpheum Theater, a big theater here, going XXX. They wanted to do that about a year and a half ago. It's an expanding industry.
Well, I've been asked to direct already. I just don't think I'm ready. I don't think that I've put in enough schooling. I also don't know if I want to do it. Well, I have the looks and the body for it, and the potential of getting clapped for. I might just stay on that side for a while, or go into Hollywood and do it there. Otherwise, I'm Like you're going to be talking with a survivalist? I'm a survivalist, and I have brains, so as soon as this end doesn't work, I will find a new place to go.
All right. Want to thank you two for an interesting hour. It's been fun.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much.
Now, like I said, closing plug at the end, plug in the middle. Two folks are appearing at the Coronet Theater in Davenport. Samantha Fox, Bobby Astor.
And one of your better theaters, if you will.
One of your better theaters,
X-rated
not down on
theaters.
Skid Row, yes. And you do have a couple of your movies showing there, and you do a little act in between the movies, a satirical
It's about
sketch.
40, well, it's a 40-minute.
Sure. We invite people to stop by, take a look. Might be surprised and like it. This is WOC Davenport, Talk Radio 14. We'll have open phones, and I'll catch it after the news from NBC, which is up next. The time is 11 o'clock.
NBC News. Good day. I'm Cameron. Mink in September sale.
Announcing 2 days of extra Mink in September savings. Monday, September 21st from noon till 8:30 p.m. and Tuesday, September 22nd from 9:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Extra selection and extra savings. The Mink in September sale at Romberg Furriers, 213 West 2nd Street, Davenport. Oh, okay. Lines are busy, and this caller next. Good morning. You're on WOC.
Good morning, Jim.
Your comment, ma'am.
I would like to comment on that program. You said nobody called in, but I thought it was terrible.
You did. Why?
Well, I think it's just nothing but, in the first place, those movies aren't even fit to have on the air or on television or anything else, and I think it's just crud when they have that kind of stuff, and those people ought to be ashamed of themselves instead of getting on there bragging.
Well, we have now a hard R-rated movie channel on our local cable here, Escapades,
Well,
widely subscribed in the Quad Cities.
I wouldn't have that in the house, or I wouldn't. They'd have to pay me, and then I couldn't pay me enough to look at that stuff. Now, that's all I just wanted to say. I think it's terrible.
All right, ma'am. Thank you for commenting. Well, I guess maybe I will catch a little. And good morning. You're on WOC.
Yeah, Jim, those two people you had, they're X-rated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to me, they're just a couple of reprobates. And they're among some of the people that are helping our country down the drain. They have no self-respect or decency or dignity. They belong in a mental hospital. We don't need them on the air. I tell you, pretty terrible, Jim. Otherwise, I enjoy your show very much.
Well, if there is so much of the kind of movies that they make, the pictures, the books, you look at television.
Yeah, well, there'll always be really the people that are decent and they haven't fallen under all that kind of stuff. There'll always be a terrible reproach. And there's more good people we ever have of those kind. But they do have, I'll tell you, it's our young people we got to think of. I never worried about what the older people wanted to do, or, but it's our children that are being exploited, and our young people. And there's nothing to look up to when you get those kind of people around. And I tell you, I've got a bit of use for them. I don't think it's necessary. There must be some other kind of way they could make a living or a few dollars without carrying on like that. I thought it was pretty bad. I think a lot of the others thought it was pretty bad, too. They don't know what to say because it's so just out of the world. It's just out of this world, that's all.
Well, it's a $2.5 billion a year industry, ma'am.
Huh?
It's billions of dollars in an industry,
dollars. You decent people don't, well, they wouldn't sell their morals for dollars. Not respectable people.
You don't have a price.
Oh, of course not. And I enjoy the show, though. I listen to everything, and it's kind of interesting, but that kind of interest, is terrible. Now, just like yesterday, in those magazines the kids bring here, they had an article in there about a doctor that thought that it was good for children to come into sex, to teach them to intersect little guys, little children. And one woman doctor there said that even incest was a good experience. Listen, our country's going to nothing. And the good people that really care better not stay silent too long if they care anything about the children, because after they've ruined themselves, destroyed themselves, now they want to turn around on the babies, the children. They ain't happy. No, this country, the Bible tells us that sin is a reproach to any nation, and we used to be kind of a Christian nation. The people thought of us why we were helped through that other war. But I'll tell you, I don't know whether we'll stop the bombs this time. That's all, Jim.
Well, thank you for commenting, ma'am. 383-7040. A line is open. Good morning. You're on WOC. You ready? You're not ready. 70 degrees in the Quad Cities. I'm chugging right along. You're supposed to stay by your telephone. Variable cloudiness forecast for the afternoon. Again tomorrow morning. Medical research will be the topic of discussion at 10 o'clock. Something called chelation therapy. And if you've ever worried about maybe you might get a heart attack, particularly if you're a fella in the 35 to 45 age range, join in tomorrow. It'll tell you how to put yourself at ease. It's something called chelation therapy and a series of tests that go along with it. You might want to spend $1. And let's see. Whoops, I want to push off that one and push over here. Evidently somebody gave up. Good morning. You're on WOC.
Good morning. I wanted to comment on your guest. You had mentioned that you hadn't had many comments on it. And I was just sitting here thinking about it. Well, it was so stupid. I imagine that's why nobody commented. It was so dumb. Who cares about these movie stars in these X-rated movies? So, I mean, I think that's the reason that you haven't had much comment on it.
Well, Bob and I figured we would really get set fire to over doing this because we have, you know, when we did a program here with Sharon Hyde a little bit ago, we caught a lot of trouble. People yelling and hollering, saying that that was the limit of free speech. They didn't want it to go any further than that. And we felt that perhaps this was pushing it a little further, and we would get more comment about this. I was surprised that...
Oh, I think it was so stupid. Yeah, I had it on, but I really almost didn't listen to it because it was so dumb.
Well, why do you feel it's so dumb?
Well, I just think it's so immoral and it's so stupid. There isn't that many people that, well, of course now there might be, I suppose.
There are that many people. Let me tell you, there are that many people. They do billions of dollars a year in business.
I suppose it just, to me, the way I was brought up and the way I feel about the whole thing is that I don't need it.
Okay, ma'am. Well,
Okay.
Thank you for commenting.
Thank you.
383-7040, a line open, 23 after the hour, 70 degrees. Good morning, you're on WOC.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same opinion that woman just did, that those people are so stupid and the movie's so boring that it's pathetic. I don't think anybody really figures it's worth commenting on.
Have you been to one?
Oh, yeah, I've seen them, and I've been to parties where they've had them, and I usually fall asleep after about 2 minutes of watching them. They bore you to death. I guess there's some people like them, but I think the majority of the people, they'd find them boring or disgusting.
Yeah, bore you to death and you fall asleep. You don't find them of prurient interest at all.
No, and these people were talking about their acting ability. I think any kindergarten play or grade school play would have a lot more acting talent than I've ever seen in any of them movies.
Well, they did mention to you, and they were very clear that they regard the quality as having improved drastically over the last few years.
You know, I don't know. I've seen some way back in the 50s that I think were a lot better than anything out today as far as quality or acting ability or anything else.
Do you approve of that movie house, of the idea of XXX movies being available to us?
Well, yeah, I think that if people want to go to them, and that's their business, you know. I ain't going to run out and tell people, hey, you can't go to this because it's going to offend me if you do. You know, I don't believe in telling other people how to run their lives, but...
You just basically think it's boring.
Yeah, to me it
Okay,
is.
sir. All right, sir. Well, thank you very much. Oh, go ahead.
Comment about, you said something before earlier about some woman killing her boyfriend and getting off scot-free.
Yes, sir.
'Cause he beat her up?
Yeah, Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay, that's another deal I wanted to comment comes under about the same category as one law for men and one for women. Did you read Ann Landis today?
What particular article? I read several
there-
papers, and there'll be 3 different ones of hers. See, she's under syndication.
Okay, there was a letter from a girl that her brother, 13-year-old brother, who was a paper boy, had been seduced by a 23 or 24-year-old woman.
Yeah, she was older than that. The woman was in her 30s,
Yeah.
and the boy was 14, 15, around there somewhere.
But what I'm saying now, Ann Landis just told her, tell him to go on, forget about it, but don't go in customers' homes.
Yeah.
Now, what if it was reversed and a 30-some-year-old person and a 14-year-old girl? Hell, you'd be in jail like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, you'd be in jail real quick. There's no law against a 14-year-old boy being seduced.
Yeah. But
I don't
it's
know
kinda
why.
Ironic the way it works one person can get off scot-free, but just because you're the other sex, you get hung for it.
Well, you got to realize, too, though, sir, with all... I don't know how I'm going to word this, because I sure don't want to talk about my buddies. Okay. Let's see. If a fellow were to be seduced at 14 by an adult woman, he is likely to brag about it when he's older and brag about it when it happens.
Yeah.
When he goes in the showers, he's going to brag about it in the high school showers. If a young girl is